So I'm journaling and I'm noticing that these seemingly careless decisions that I've been making about posting videos of myself and creating Facebook groups and um, making adaptations to the way in which I'm showing up on social media are means to an end that I didn't really even know about. I have been doing a lot of work on trying to define what it is that I need to feel safe and full, nourished, without being reliant on a single individual to provide that to me or to meet all those needs. So, an unhealthy relationship, a lot of us are used to getting into a partnership of some sort, an agreement, and expecting that this person's going to make you feel complete and not even knowing what it is that you need to feel complete, but giving them that role. And that causes a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, and it's unfair to the other person. And so this is something I've experienced personally. And I've been doing a lot of work on what it is that I need, learning, defining what it is that I need to feel safe and secure. Because if you don't know that, how can you communicate that to another person? And if you don't have awareness that it's not their responsibility to meet all your needs, it's not healthy, it's not practical, it's not possible, and it's not their job. Of course, you decide what it is that you want out of a relationship, but for me, that's not what I want. I understand how essential it is to have a wide variety of sources that make you feel nourished, especially with the current climate that we're in, where certain things that were consistent in our lives have been taken away. Being able to congregate in large groups, go to the coffee shop, go to public events, go to work, all these things that maybe we had certain needs being met are changing. So we have to constantly be able to be adaptable, and it's helpful if you're in control and reliant on yourself to provide the needs that you're seeking, and in a way that's not reliant on a single individual or a circumstance, but it's more open and adaptable and changeable. So, like, right now, I'm noticing that me sharing videos of myself is allowing me to feel like I'm being seen and witnessed, even if I don't know who is watching or if anyone will. It's giving me that feeling, that release in a way that I'm sharing myself completely vulnerable, unabridged, and I'm not reliant on one individual or certain individuals to be able to hold me and to be present for me in the way that traditionally and typically would be required for me to feel fulfilled in these types of conversations and expressions. And there's some inquiry internally about the fairness of me wanting other people to be there for me when I am wanting to be seen and heard. Of course, I deserve that, but the person that I go to didn't agree necessarily, or maybe isn't always available when I need someone to be, or when I have something I want to share. No one should be available for all of that. So me posting it on the internet is a way in which I'm not forcing anyone specifically to watch and to listen, but I'm allowing myself to be seen and witnessed in the way that I'm desiring. So it feels good for me for right now. That's not to say I'll never want to have intimate conversations with individuals. Of course I will, but it's not going to be as urgent, or there's no reliance that I'm specifically needing another person to talk to all the time. It'll allow it to be more fluid and natural. So at a time where I'm not seeing a lot of people in isolation, I still have these needs. And so even if there wasn't a pandemic and I wasn't isolated per se, but I had things I'm focused on, the people in my life are focused on their own things, I would have a way of getting my needs met without being reliant on certain circumstances and conditions. So that's one thing. And I also really, really enjoy intellectual conversations. And for a long time, I didn't have that need met by others in my life. And recently, I was reliant on a single individual to have these specific conversations with me. And it was a yearning that I didn't necessarily have met by anyone else. The people in my life weren't able to meet me in the way that I was desiring. And so someone who never posted on social media, didn't want to be seen, was really kind of like a hidden observer, started posting more, and people weren't engaging with my posts and my inquiries because that wasn't something that they were used to, and it wasn't the people didn't sign up for that, because we've been friends for how many years on this platform, and I did not show up in that way, so they weren't in agreement of responding to me in this new way. So I created a Facebook group, Conversations That Matter. If you listen to this and you want to join it, there's just some questions to make sure that we can keep the integrity of the container being safe and secure. And the intention is just to explore ideas that you have and concepts that maybe aren't completely settled in your mind or in society's mind. And it's seemingly simple things that personally I feel aren't so clear. So, what does it mean to be a friend? Someone may impose their definition of a friend onto you, and you have a completely different definition. And we don't talk about these things. We just use these specific words without defining what they mean to us. And over time, over the years of us as a culture and society using these words, they've adopted different meanings than they originally intended. Like gay. Gay used to mean happy, and people use it that way sometimes. And other people associate gay with being homosexual, or maybe it's being lame. And sometimes we use words and we expect that the other person on the other end of this conversation knows what we mean by that, but we never clarify it. So it's a space to explore how we converse with each other, how we communicate, as well as specific topics that I feel are important, and anyone in the group's welcome to open up topics as well. But it's making me really excited to have that need met and to not be reliant on a single individual that I'm approaching with these things to respond to me. I'm putting it out there, and whoever wants to respond and engage in that conversation will be able to, because it's out there. Whereas if I just didn't know where to put it, I would never get that met. So I'm excited, and I'm getting clarity on why I've been doing these weird things. And who knows if this is really what it's all about. I'm sure there's more to discover. There's always more to discover, but it feels good to acknowledge that I have needs and I'm responsible for getting those needs met. And it doesn't have to be only one solution. There doesn't have to be the immediate way in which you think that that's going to be fulfilled. Like, something on my list is having a positive impact on other people's lives. And I've been struggling with my career path, if you've watched other videos that I've posted, and my purpose. And it doesn't have to be through my work. I know that I can make an impact on another individual by simply being who I am. And I always will be that way. And knowing that the single most important action that I can take is taking care of my health and well-being so that I can affect others to the same capacity that I tend to myself. Even by just showing up in that way for myself allows me to show up for others if and when I come into contact with them. Whereas if I was so focused on how I can make an impact on others and killing myself to try and be in a specific career, have a checklist every day, did I get validation that I made an impact on one person a day, that wouldn't be healthy, it wouldn't be fulfilling, it wouldn't be nourishing, and it wouldn't be a good plan. So being creative about approaching what your needs are, and trying to find ways to get your needs met that aren't reliant on a single individual or a specific condition, aren't constricting, but are open and accessible. So, yay!